How you doing? I'm Dave Reinhold. Today we're going to check out the Festool CMS router table, which stands for Compact Modular System. So one of the things I really like about this Festool CMS table is notice how small it is. It folds up. So you can turn this into a full-blown big honking router table with all the bells and whistles when you get to the job site or when you're in your shop, or break it down ultra compact like it sits now for taking it on the road with you to do whatever you need. So here it is all folded up, which stores the router in it in its folded up shape. So the router's already in it. I've already got my fence on, I've already got my ring, so I'm ready. I can take it to the job site. I've even got my crank to raise it up and down. Everything stores on here. So right now I can take it into the job site and get going. Super easy to stand it up. You got the big Festool knobs just like their other tables. And the legs fold right out. Lock it down and go around to the other side. Lock it down. And if you have awesome sweet floors like mine, you even got a little lever down here to raise and lower it to get any rocking out of the table. So here's the table standing up. Now it's the same height as the MFT3, it's the same height as the Capex on the UG cart, it's the same height as the Capex on the MFT3 Capex. So they really thought about everything. It's the same height as all those tables, so if they were working in a tight space, you can use everything as in-feed, out-feeds, everything's the same surface height, which is really nice. So as it sits here now is the basic set. It just comes with the stand, obviously no router attached. Comes with the fence, the feather guards, and you're going to get a bunch of rings to lessen the gap in for your bits. For different size bits, you're going to get the mounting ring for the 1010, and you're going to get the dust shroud and the starting pin. So if you're using the not the fence. My expert opinion, which if you want to take it, you can, is buy the full set. I'm going to show you everything comes in the full set. We're going to build it to be the full set right now. The difference in price is minimal compared to if you bought all the pieces separately, and some of the pieces I think are necessary, such as the hose and all that. So let's dive into it. Let's put this thing together real quick, and I'm going to show you some of the features of it. So we're going to start off with the outfeed table. So I already have the brackets attached right here, which you just bolt right on. Super easy. And we're going to put this on. One of the cool things about it too is you can leave it attached and jiggle it a little bit and fold it down. It is longer than the legs, but if you wanted to throw it in the truck, you can kind of fold it and it would be like sitting like that with the legs folded down, so you can store it to bring it to the site a little bit easier. And then you just fold these out, get them in those key slots, and tighten everything down. So there's the outfeed table. One of the things I like to do, and some people didn't really address, was the height of the table. This is the extrusion from the MFT3. What I try to do is keep it a little low. It's only about a 16th, heavy 16th low. So that way when I'm running something, if my piece of wood has got a slight bow to it, it'll be fine. I always like to check too, make sure if I'm running some pieces with some curls to it, or anything that might catch, I'll drop it a little low. I'd rather have it a little low than catch it and get a little burn mark or a twist or something happen. So I always think keeping this low is key. Keeping it, it's much safer. One of my favorite features on it is the sliding table. So the sliding table is right here. Now, learned this out at the Festool Connect is these you mount on there later, these little plastic tabs, and that's where these screws fall into. Brian showed us that, just put a little pencil mark right up here, which is pretty much in line with that. So now you're going to line these 2 bolts with those, and I'm going to be really close. You can set it in 2 positions. You can set it back so it's like this, so you're going to get more throw, or you can set the table back here so you're going to get it a lot deeper throw from the beginning. So when I'm usually setting it up, I never have to do anything that big. Set it up here, lining those bolts up, lock it down. So there's the sliding table, and if you guys could only feel this, you would appreciate how super smooth that is. John, feel that. Oh, that's smooth. So you get that in the set also. In the set, you get the miter gauge. Again, everything keeps adding up, so I don't know, I would definitely get the whole set. So there's the miter gauge. And one of the other things I want to show you guys, once you get this, you can adjust this whole slide with these, via these nuts here on these plastic things. So come on in over here, and you'll see that this whole table's got so many gizmos, you can adjust it every which way. But your table's always going to be a little bit high. So I got mine close as I felt comfortably, and a little high. Your material's going to be on a slight tilt, but nothing bad. And that way, I'm not risking anything catching again, and the table goes so smooth. So when I got it out of the box, it had a much higher gap though, so I just lowered it down, and now I feel it's perfect. In the set, you're also going to get the hose, which I think is a necessary piece. I mean, this hose set is $100, but having a dedicated hose for this with the splitter and everything is priceless in my opinion. So you got the 36mm hose, which will plug into the fence, and the 27mm hose, which plugs into the router dust port. And then you just plug it into your CT. You also got cord storage on the back to manage that, which you can loop off and plug that into your CT. Now your router, if we come down here, your router has the plug-it cable, and that's connected to the switch. So when I turn the router on and lock it down, this switch is going to turn it on and off. So really nice that that's right there. So that's pretty much the set. The only thing that it doesn't come with that I think it should, and I'm kind of bummed that it doesn't, is the push stick. There is a push stick, and it's part number 450199. Push stick hangs here, hangs on the extrusions, so it's like it was meant to be. So I think it was only 12 bucks. Why it doesn't come with it blows my mind, but for 12 bucks you can pick it up, and it's really cool. And it's almost necessary with all the safety features of the CMS. We'll dive into that next. A couple of the other little Festool features they have in here is the fence is split, and in one of my other videos you saw that I was using it as a joiner, but you got the knobs in the back, and you can open or close the fence, and if you need to get it wider, come around here, you'll see there's a nut down here, well, a flathead screw. You can loosen that up and slide it even wider out, even more wide. So you want to get it close on your bit. So that's perfect for this application. And tighten it down. So you got 4 on each. All right, one of the big things that was going with me a bunch was squaring this to the table, which you know. So I found, if you look in here, there's these white, I guess plastic or composite type screws right in here. So right where I'm at, there's one on either side, right in front of the scales. What you do is keep your fence loose, sitting there, and if you look right now, the fence is pretty perfect. And you can lift and lower these and throw it out. So I tuned these to be real good on both of them, and they're perfect enough for me. And then you can tighten your table down, your fence down to your table. Now the only thing that bothers me about this table is, so far, is the inability to do any micro adjusting on the table. I wish there was an easier way. The only way to move this table is by these 2 nuts. Loosen them up, and you move it, and you got a really small scale down there. So, you know, we're running this bit, we can get it close, line it up, and then I kind of want, if you're going to use a sliding table, you want it somewhat square, so you want to check and be like, oh, I'm like 20 1 on both. Boom, that's close. And you get it locked down, try it, see if it's got to move it a little bit. Now, the micro adjust that we found was keep one tight, get it close, keep one tight, loosen the other, and just gently tap one side or the other. Throw it a little out of square, but you're running it on a bearing, you're fine. And even if you're using the miter, the sliding table, just don't clamp down tight, you keep it loose and you can still use it as long as it's close, or you can even throw the table, the miter gauge out to the same as the fence. But I find getting it close, locking it down, moving it, just nudging one side, and that's the micro adjust. Well, I'd love to see something else, but we don't have it. So this table features some crazy safety features. One is this contraption here, which features 2 feather guards, one down and one against. So they snap into this metal extrusion, this aluminum piece that comes up and down. So it has a little lock here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this in. And this knob, this big knob at the end, tightens and loosens everything. So when you snap it down, when it's not cinched so tight, there we go. So this is actually your hold down. You could tighten this in, and this would give you pressure against the fence. So really like that it kind of keeps you from putting your hand in here, especially if you're running small stock too. You're running like rails and stiles and stuff. You're going to be in somewhere like that. You can't get your finger to that blade. It's just killer. That's one of the reasons why I wish they gave you the push stick, because you're going to try to poke it with your finger. But now with the push stick, I can clearly get through and pull my stock out the other side. So I really kind of like this. In the beginning, I hated this whole setup. Took some time to get used to. I'm still learning so much with this table because there's so many little things and fun things to do with it. But I'm liking it now. There's a lot of little things that, I hated in the beginning because they were different. And I'm really digging them now. So when that store's out of the way like this, you want to change your bit. And again, you can do almost everything from the top of the table. Right here, we showed in the beginning, is my key to raise and lower the table, which is right here. So I got the 1400 mounted in here. And as long as it's unlocked, which it is now, I can lower and raise my bit right from here. Super cool. And once I get it to exactly where I want, we come down and you actually lock the router itself how you would normally lock the plunge. So this one, we're going to turn that knob and it's locked in tight. So really neat. So this is just a brief touch, skim the surface of the CMS. There's so much we can do with this. There's so much more that I didn't even go into, showing you how to mount the table. There's so many different, Festool did some really good videos on showing you how to mount it and set it up. So I didn't really go into that. Everybody's seen that. So, if there's something else you do want to see, drop me a line, make sure you comment. But if not, stay tuned, make sure you subscribe and check this out, because we will be doing more with this. We're going to do some projects. We're going to get into it a little bit more, because I'm still learning. And if you guys see something that you thought was a better way or different than I do it, definitely tell me, because this is like a whole nother beast. And there's so many little things that we're learning every day with it. And I would love to see them and hear from you guys. I'm Dave Reinhold. Good talking to you guys. Check out Tool Nut. Later.